Hey, what's up guys, and welcome in this new tutorial where I'm gonna show you how to sample vintage vocals for your tech house tracks. So before starting with this tutorial, I would like to remind you that all of the samples are from our sample pack Fiesta Volume 3, which is a Terrace tech house collection that includes one-shots, loops, construction kits and much more. And you can check it out from the link in the description below. So the vocal sample that we are gonna use is Don't Look Any Further, which has already been used in a number of tech house tracks, including a really famous one from Posa. So the important thing here is first of all to detect the BPM and the key, and you can do that simply by looking online. In this case is 95 BPM and the key is A minor. So we have the original track as well as the acapella. So in this case you can also easily find the acapella online, otherwise you would have to use an extractor to extract the vocals from the original. So this is the acapella that we have.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over.
So overall it's clean, but still not perfect vocal. So the first thing that we're gonna do is going to be adding the noise and the click to remove some of these extra sounds that you hear which are not related to the vocal. So the best one is, I think, the one from the RX collection. So we can use the voice denoise and the mouth the click. So these are the two main ones that we're gonna use. So we're gonna start with the denoise. So we're gonna loop this part.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
You don't want to go too aggressive here, otherwise you will cut a lot of high frequencies, but just enough to remove some extra noise from the sample. And then we have the mouth declick.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
So here we are basically increasing a bit the sensitivity and the click width. Also we are changing the frequencies more on the top end, since we can hear a bit more clicks on that. And then we're gonna use a simple EQ just to cut the low frequencies. Like this. Okay, now that we have done the basic editing for the vocals, we're gonna do the most important and probably difficult part for a vintage vocal, which is gonna be warping the vocal correctly so that it fits with the track. So at the moment we have just put the BPM and put the complex algorithm on the vocal, but we are surely gonna have to do some edits to make it fit with the track. So let's have a listen from here.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
So it's not fitting perfectly, but it's not terrible either. So my suggestion here would be to split these different parts so that we can edit each one separately, something like this, and then we can make sure that they are warped correctly. So for instance, we're gonna start with this one. Here the timeline is a bit messed up because we're not starting from the beginning, as you can see, but right here, which is not perfect. So we're gonna have to reference the timeline here on the project to make sure that it fits correctly. So we're gonna do some really simple editing here so that it fits with the track. We're also gonna remove some extra parts that we don't need, where there is only some noise. For instance, we're gonna move this one a little bit here. It doesn't have to be perfect, of course, but just making sure that it's in sync with the track. So let's listen to this part.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing.
Can leave a bit of more tail here.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you stand.
Okay, so now that we have warped all of this section, let's have a listen.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
Now that we've done the warping and it's sounding great, we're gonna loop this drop part and we're gonna go in the processing of the vocals.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing.
Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is gonna be loading auto pitch from Melda Production. So this is a free plugin, and the format shift here works very well.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a love, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
So that you can shift the vocals like this.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a love, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
Okay, and we're adding a bit of variation to the vocals so that you don't just put the dry acapella on your track like if it was a mashup or a bootleg. Then another really important step is the de-esser. So when you're working with these acapellas, you have a lot of sibilants and S sounds. So we're gonna use the FabFilter Pro DS.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you stand.
So we have to move the range a bit down the frequencies because of the pitch shift that we have done.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over.
So next we're gonna do a bit of leveling to make sure that the vocals are more or less consistent throughout the track, because here, as you can see, we have some much louder parts and some quieter parts. So obviously you can do that with a compressor. We're gonna go with the standard Ableton compressor. However, I recommend you to use an 1176 emulation, for example, which works really well. We are gonna keep a slow attack, release on automatic, and we are gonna have to add quite a lot of compression here.
Over, oh girl, don't look any further. Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
Now in this case it would be a bit useless to add reverb and delay because the vocals here are already processed. So the only thing I'm gonna do is gonna be adding some sidechain. So we're gonna duplicate the compressor, we're gonna put the sidechain from the kick drum, remove the EQ, we're going with a faster attack. Let's put the out back to 0.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
Now that we have the sidechain, actually think that we can use this cool plugin called the Reverberate Free, so that we can remove a bit of this reverb that we have going on this sample.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing. Here I am, stop where you're standing. What you need is a lover, a man to take over. Oh girl, don't look any further.
Okay, like this it's much better. So let's have a listen to this part as well.
Someone to count on in a world ever changing.
I think it sounds well without any much more reverb or delay to it. Obviously, you can add, for example, some automation to fill up the space, and you can do any creative work that you like on this. But yeah, that's all for this tutorial on how to sample vintage vocals for your tech house tracks. Don't forget to check out Fiesta Volume 3 from the link in the description below. Let us know what tutorials would you like to see next, and I'll see you soon. Bye.